If you're planning to leave your job or your company has been bought or is planning to merge, you may be wondering what to do with your 401k. So here now is some advice on what to do as President and CEO of Wilsey Asset Management, Brent Wilsey. Morning, Brent.
Good morning.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, happy Sunday it is. Yeah, football day.
So we're talking about changes.
Changes, yes. And right now, retirement assets are almost $40 trillion, which is about 1/3 of household assets. And that's a huge number. It used to be not that big of a deal. Now so many people have a 401k. And if you do not have a 401k and your employer offers it, please add to that 401k. It is the best way to build long-term wealth by adding to your 401k. And what a great tax deduction.
Yeah, so okay, we're talking about options. I'm going to go right down the list here. One of them, roll to your new employer.
Yeah. So you leave your employer, and now you have this 401k. And I tell people it's like a suitcase. You take it, and you move along, and you take it with you. Now, you can take that to your new employer. They'll say, oh, well, you left your employer. You want to bring it here, do that. I tell people, don't roll it to a new employer, because what happens now, you've tied that money up. We have a person right now in a 401k plan. They want to buy a house, and they can get no money out from their 401k. It gives you no options, because then you're at the employer's mercy what they did. So when you're leaving one company, going to another company, do not roll it into your new company plan. Roll it to an IRA rollover.
Okay, yeah, keep them separate.
Keep them separate.
That way you have access to the funds.
Yes, correct.
Okay, take a distribution.
Worst option ever. And
Really?
People say, well, I left my employer. Gee, I'm going to get $20,000, $10,000. I'll just take it. Now, when you do that, especially if you're on a 59.5, you're going to pay not only the taxes, state and federal, but you're going to pay about a 10% penalty to the federal government. You get about half of that money is what you get. And also try to tell people, if you had $10,000, don't look at that you're taking out $10,000. Over 30 years, that $10,000 would be about $80,000. So look at it that way, that you've taken out $80,000 that would help your retirement. Don't think is that only $10,000. Take that money, roll it over.
Okay. Options when your employer ownership changes.
Well, we forgot about the rollover one. We want to talk about the rollover one, because that's the most important one.
Oh, I thought you already addressed that one.
Well, not really, because
Okay.
I want to talk about how to do that. Because when you roll over money, you have an option to roll it over to your own IRA rollover. Now, that gives you all the options. You can take that to the bank, which I don't recommend, but you can do that. You can do it yourself if you want to. I recommend you go to an investment advisor, like ourselves, because I've done this many, many years, 40 years, to how to manage that money for your retirement. You don't want to risk it into cryptocurrencies. You want good investments that'll be there when you retire. And this is the best option, because you control it. Your employer can't tell you, oh, we're not going to do these investment options. If you don't like the person you went to, you can roll it somewhere else. So it gives you the most control of those retirement assets. But understand, you want an advisor that knows what they're doing to help you out, because it's your retirement. You don't want to lose it.
Yeah, so, okay, that's great. Great stuff. So, ownership changes, roll over to the new owner's plan?
Yes, because what happens now, there's a lot of companies that are being bought and sold and so forth, and you got almost $40 trillion in these retirement assets. What happens when a company is bought by another company is you have the option to take that money. Now, what they many times say is like, well, you can take that money and roll it to the new employer. Well, they kind of make it so it sounds like that's what you almost have to do. That is not the case. When they change companies, it's like you left that company, but the company has changed. So you now have the option of taking that money, and as you just talked about, using IRA rollover, so you have control of that money. Do not roll it over to the new employer.
Okay, take a distribution?
That's another thing you can do as well. Don't recommend doing that. Even though you didn't make that change, your employer did, do not take that distribution. Keep that in your retirement plan.
And again, roll over to an IRA?
Roll it to IRA, again, the best thing to do. And what I want to tell people, they say, well, but the new company is matching. So I've got this money over here, I've got $10,000, great. The new company's going to match that amount. They're not going to match the rollover amount. They'll only match new contributions that you take from your paycheck. So do not think that they're going to roll over that. They're going to roll over that money, and you had $10,000. They're not going to give you $5,000 with a 50% match. That's not going to happen. It's not on rollover funds. Make this clear. Only on what you're contributing to the plan will they match. And it's a great thing when companies match, please.
So the theme here good is rollover.
Roll
to an IRA.
Yep. Whenever you have a chance to get that money, whether you left the company or the company changed hands, roll it over. And then also, too, if you did roll over your money to the new employer, many times you can take that back after you found out about it. So you heard this, and well, wait a minute, I did that like 3 months ago. I want that money back. You can get that depending on what the plan is you rolled it into. They say, yes, we have provision that you can take that money back and now do a rollover, even though you rolled over to us first.
But if your company offers a 401k, get on it.
Definitely, 100%.
Especially if they match up to a certain percent on your contribution.
That's like icing on the cake. And if all you can afford is $100 a month, please do the $100 a month. I mean, because you get the tax deduction, it's not like $100. It could be like you're only doing out $60 or $70. So it's the best thing you can do. I say better than real estate doing your 401k long term. You get a tax deduction. It's the only thing you get a tax deduction for. You get $1. You put $1 in, get a tax deduction, and you get to keep that dollar. Don't miss that opportunity. It's the best opportunity that's out there.
Yes, it is. All right, Brent Wilsey. Good stuff, Brent. Thanks a lot.